when these officers are faced with crowds of protesters and everything. Someone said here about decision making and poor decision making on that. What would you say are the big lessons in this? Because this is the last, okay, let me put it this way. The Gen Z protests and the issue with the abductions are the last two major publicly discussed challenges between the public and the police. What would you say is the key lessons that you would extract from this season when it comes to the police?
This mentality of do unto others as what has been done to you that's within the police force needs to be completely eradicated. Let's start from there. Being able to view citizens as people, imagining that they're actually fighting for your rights as well in the process of advocating for their own, needs to be recognized as well within the police force. This issue of awareness when it comes to how do we vocalize the issues we are facing as also the public, and how the police in turn responds. He's talked about decision making. In that instance, it's not always, the answer is not always force. The answer can be some reasoning. Let's talk about this, or let's try and handle this in a different way. Why is it that the first thought or mentality is, let's do away with this whole conversation, like there's no conversation in process, let's just guns up.
Physical dialogue.
We go full in force, yeah? Why is that always the case? It boils down against what he said, training and leadership. Yeah, so once we eradicate these issues pertaining to training, and then we tackle the issue on leadership, where this mentality and mindset completely shifts from doing unto others what has been done to you within the police force, we'll be able to solve other challenges.
Tatyana, the human rights defenders are at the heart of any form of change that we should expect. There are instances where we felt like the police feel like, the human rights are literally inciting the public, the defenders are inciting the public against the police. What do you suppose then is the role that the human rights defenders are playing in terms of making sure that, they push for sustainable reforms? And these reforms then should better the situation for the police as well for the masses.
I think what we tend to forget is that police officers are also humans. They also tend to forget that as well. And I think it's important to recognize that at the end of the day, when we're advocating for human rights, it's not only human rights for the public, it's human rights for everyone. Everyone, no matter your position, no matter your background, whatever role you have had to play, it's human rights for everyone. So by the time we realize that we're advocating for human rights for everyone, this trickles down within the entire community. It comes from even a family aspect. If you look at in the family setup, what you learn from your parents is what you implement with your children. So if you come into the human rights aspect now in the police service, if you talk about leadership in the sense that what they're learning from the leaders, based on what our colleague has shared, they're being taught based on what they learned and what their predecessors learned. So being able to change that entire mindset is just the beginning of everything. Once we're able to eradicate that mindset, we'll be able to see the shift from the force translating now into the service.
Right.
Yeah.
And as you top up to what